cracking, gang? It's T Nasty, and I'm back with another banger for you guys. So this weekend, there's no UFC. We got 6 weeks off, but there is a few huge boxing fights going down. This Friday, we have the Netflix card, Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, with a couple of other big fights in the undercard. We got Tyron, the Frozen One Woodley versus Anderson the Spider Silva in a boxing match. And then Saturday morning, in Dubai, we have a big Misfits card headlined by Andrew Tate versus Chase Demoor. And then we also have a big fight with Tony El Kukui Ferguson returning to face Warren Spencer, the guy who just got beat by Dylan Dennis in about 30 seconds. And yeah, no MMA, but we got a couple big boxing fights. I know the channel is T Nasty MMA, but for one day only, we will be T Nasty Boxing, and we'll be covering my official predictions and how I think these fights are going to go. But before we get into that, make sure to go down and subscribe. We're on the road to 500, getting closer and closer every day. I'm trying to hit that by the end of the year. A lot of people don't even know that they're not subscribed, so just go down. It takes one click of a button, and it really helps your boy out. But with that being said, let's get right down to business. First fight to talk about on the I'm starting with the Misfits card, even though this one's second. But the first fight to talk about, Tony Ferguson versus Warren Spencer for the interim middleweight MFB world title. Yeah, an interim title and exhibition fight. Like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. That's the thing about these this Misfits cards. There's a lot of exhibition fights. Very few of them are actually pro-sanctioned bouts. The same can be said about Chase Demoor versus Andrew Tate, which is the main event of this card. Yeah, it's an exhibition fight, so. But Tony Ferguson, he's back in the win column ever since he came over to Misfits. He took out Salt Poppy in the last fight, and I really think he's gonna be able to keep it going with this one. Warren Spencer, the guy, he does look like he can, he low-key can box pretty good, especially against, the YouTubers and stuff, but I don't think he's going to be able to go all the rounds with Tony Ferguson. I think he's going to get broken at some point in this fight. Now, on paper, does Warren Spencer have the youth advantage, the speed advantage, probably the athleticism, and probably boxing technique advantage? Yes. But what Tony Ferguson has is experience. He has heart, toughness, durability, all of the aspects of fighting that you need to really be a successful fighter. He has. Warren Spencer might look good hitting the pads. He might think he's tough shit because he trains with the top G, Andrew Tate, but he's nothing compared to Tony El Kukui Ferguson, one of the greatest fighters of all time. And despite the 8 or however many fight losing streak he was on, Tony's back. He's on the TRT or whatever else he needs to be on to make himself look young again. And I think he's going to keep the train rolling against Warren Spencer. I think how it's going to go, I think, early on in the first round, maybe 2, I think Warren Spencer is going to technically, outbox Tony Ferguson. I think he's going to be faster and sharper, especially in the early rounds. But I think as we get into round 3, 4, and 5, I think Warren Spencer is going to gas out. And I think he's not going to be able to keep it going with Tony throughout the rest of the end of the rounds. And I think Warren Spencer is going to break, and Tony Ferguson is going to win by TKO. So that's my official pick. I'm going Tony Ferguson by round 4, TKO. All right, next fight to talk about, the main event of this card. Andrew, the top G, Tate, finally making his crossover boxing debut, going up against the Misfits heavyweight champion, Chase Demoor. Now, once again, this is an exhibition bout for a title. It doesn't really make sense. Why is this not a professional bout? But regardless, Andrew Tate, he's become very, very famous. One of the most mainstream household names in the whole world right now over these past few years. And I'm not, despite how you may feel about this guy, I'm not a huge fan of him personally, but he is a world class kickboxer. I'm pretty sure he was a world champion in ISCA or one of those other lower kickboxing organizations, and he's legit. He looks fucking good. He's released a lot of sparring footage over the years, and we've seen some of his fights that are on the internet. Go look into it if you really want to. But Andrew Tate, he's legit. He can fight. And the thing is, Chase Demoor, he is genuinely one of the worst, most awful, least skilled boxers I've ever seen. And somehow he's made his way to the Misfits heavyweight title. All these guys he's been fighting are bums. Nobody has come even close to the level of Andrew Tate when it comes to skill and experience. And I think he's gonna get embarrassed out here. He's gonna look like an amateur compared to Andrew Tate. And yeah, I just I don't understand this guy. He's been boxing for a few years now, and he's just not developed any sort of technique or skill whatsoever. Some of the worst footwork you've ever seen. Literally crosses his feet all over the place. Throws fucking little bitch fucking punches like that. Like it's the most ridiculous shit you've ever seen. I don't understand how this guy is the heavyweight champ. And I think he's gonna look really, really bad against Andrew Tate. I think he's gonna get murked pretty badly. The one thing about Andrew Tate is he has quite a bit of ring rust. He hasn't fought in a long time. And Chase Demoor has been very active. Had a lot of fights over the past few years, so that's the one factor that I think will play into this. But regardless, I think Andrew Tate is just a much better boxer, much better fighter, has more experience, and I think he's gonna be able to find those shots, especially on a guy like Chase Demoor who has horrible defense and just leaves himself super open whenever he punches. So my official pick, I'm going with Andrew Tate by round 2 KO. I do think there's a chance he just comes out and immediately fucking flatlines him in like literally like a minute in the first round. But I think he's gonna have a little bit of a feeling out process due to the ring rust, and it's gonna take him a minute, maybe in round 2, to find that KO. But I think eventually at some point early in the fight, he absolutely sleeps Chase Demoor pretty badly. I don't like Chase Demoor is just like on like levels below Andrew Tate when it comes to skill. And I think it's gonna show in this fight, and the top G is gonna be the Misfits heavyweight champ. And yeah, I think he can win regardless, but he is this like the CEO or whatever of the company now, so this fight may or may not be rigged. Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna say for sure, but it might just be rigged. Next fight to talk about on the Netflix card on Friday night, we got Anderson the Spider Silva versus Tyron the Frozen One Woodley. My boy T Wood, I'll beat your ass. I'll beat your ass. Tyron Woodley, dude. Whenever I saw this fight get announced a few weeks ago, I was so hyped. Like, these are two unks going at it, two former UFC world champions, and the thing is, like, Tyron Woodley, he hasn't fought in a long time. The last time he fought was whenever he got knocked out by Jake Paul, like absolutely colded by Jake Paul. Okay, and so I mean, this is a pretty big step up if you ask me. I mean, Anderson Silva, he's fought quite a few times in boxing since he retired from the UFC, and he's proven to be pretty good in the boxing ring. And he's still got it. Like he's still fast. He's still elusive. Went toe to toe with Jake Paul, super young guy, like 20 years younger than him, and made that a good fight. Got the win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Got the win over Tito Ortiz. A couple other wins as well, I believe. I mean, Anderson Silva, he's still got it. He's still good. And T Wood, like I said, back after a long ass layoff. On paper, I think Anderson Silva, I think he has the size and the speed advantage. He's definitely gonna be a lot taller and longer than T Wood. And I think he's gonna be faster. Like T Wood, he's always was known for being fast, but I don't think he's fast like Anderson Silva. Um, and yeah, I think the length is gonna play into it. Yeah, Anderson Silva has proven to be a much better boxer, and Tyron has taken a long time off after a bad KO. So I don't think this is gonna be a good matchup for Tyron at all. I think it's gonna be outclassed on the feet in the boxing by Anderson Silva, and I don't think he's really gonna be able to land much at all. Um, I think Anderson, I think he's gonna piece him up, kind of pitter patter, do a little bit of emoting, but I don't think he's gonna land nothing too crazy. Um, yeah, I think Anderson just makes him miss for like most of the fight until I think Tyron lands maybe like one shot at one point, maybe like gets a little quick flash rock, real quick, but I don't think he chases the finish. We know Tyron Woodley doesn't really chase the finish like that. Like if he's not colding you, like he's not gonna really chase the TKO. Um, yeah, I think Anderson's gonna piece him up, make him miss, and emote on him. So my official pick, I'm going with Anderson Silva to pick up the win over Tyron Woodley in this boxing match by decision. Now the final fight I want to talk about, the reason I'm making this video, we got Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. Like just take a second to like, this is a fucking crazy fight. Like who would have thought we would ever be at this point? Jake spent a long time calling out Canelo. And then, he had the fight booked against Gervonta Davis. And then Gervonta had to be taken out for reasons I don't want to get into here. I don't want to get, I'm not even monetized, but I'm not going to talk about that. What we are going to talk about is the fact that Anthony Joshua, one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time, one of the greatest amateur boxers ever, a former Olympic gold medalist, is taking on Jake Paul. And now there are a couple things you got to talk about with this fight before we get into like actually breaking down. Okay, so like first of all, this is an exhibition bout, not an officially sanctioned fight, but it will be counting on their records. Um, there's some modified rules in this fight. First thing to talk about the fact that they're fighting in a much bigger ring. It's 22 by 22 feet instead of the normal 20 by 20. And that gives Jake Paul an extra 84 square feet of space to run around in. Yeah, much bigger ring. That's definitely going to be an advantage for Jake, who's going to be running for sure. And then also it's 8 rounds instead of, I think normally professional fights go 10 or 12 rounds. And then we got 10-ounce gloves. Usually they're a bit smaller. 245 weight cap for Joshua. Come on, Jake. Come on. Come on. Coming from the guy who was supposed to be fighting Gervonta Davis, that's just crazy. But yeah, I mean, a lot of like crazy, unfair rules that are made basically just to kind of even out the size difference between these two guys. Anthony Joshua is huge compared to Jake, much, much bigger. I mean, you can kind of tell from this screenshot here of their face off. Not as good from that angle, but I mean, Anthony Joshua definitely has like at least like 3 or 4 inches, if not 5, 6 on Jake Paul. Huge size advantage, and there's a lot of rules in place to kind of even that out a little bit, which I think is kind of hokey. Like, come on, man. But regardless, when we get into the analytical breakdown here, like Anthony Joshua is just like clearly a much better and more experienced boxer. Yeah, like I said, former Olympic gold medalist and a decorated heavyweight champion with multiple title defenses, beaten a lot of really good fighters. And yeah, he's just shown over the years to be one of the best boxers in the world. And it's just crazy to see Jake going up against a guy like that. Because, Jake, he's a YouTuber at the end of the day. Like, he's gotten much better as a boxer. Like, he actually is really good, very skilled and technical now. But at the end of the day, he's still a YouTuber. He still has less than 15 pro fights. I think he's around like 10 or 12 range now. And it's just crazy to see someone who's that inexperienced going up against a guy who's just that good and that much bigger than him as well. Like, the odds are definitely not in Jake's favor at all. And most people who you ask about this fight, they're saying Anthony Joshua is going to easily walk through Jake Paul. And I tend to agree with them. I really do. But the thing is, this is fighting, and everybody has that puncher's chance. And the thing about Anthony Joshua is he's proven to kind of be a bit chinny, right? He's got knocked out in his most recent fight, and he got knocked out as well by the Destroyer. And, he's proven in his career to be a bit chinny. That's his one weakness, is he can get knocked out if you hit him with a clean shot. And the thing is, Jake Paul, he's proven to have really nasty KO power, especially in that right hand. The left hook's pretty powerful as well. And yeah, I think if Jake lands the shot, he could knock him out. I mean, Jake's not fucking small for sure, like he's pretty big, and he's got KO power for sure in that right hand. And I think if he lands a clean shot, he could put him out. But the thing is, like, he's just so outmatched skill wise, size wise. I think Anthony Joshua is going to be way longer and be able to hit him from pretty far away. So I think Jake's going to have to do a lot of running and be like picking his shots to try and land that counter blow. And he needs to knock out Anthony Joshua in this fight. That's pretty much the only way he could win. Joshua, like, on paper, he should be able to easily coast through decision. He should be able to easily walk through Jake. And I really do think that's what's going to happen. I think Jake's going to be running away, trying to find his shots, but I think eventually he's going to get caught in the corner and eventually TKO'd. But Jake's going to be running for sure. He absolutely needs, like, if he can make it to a decision, that's a moral victory in of itself with Anthony Joshua. Like, he really doesn't even need to win. If he loses the decision, he wins this fight. In the eyes of a lot of people, he would prove himself to a lot of people as a solid boxer for being able to go toe-to-toe with Joshua. But I don't think that's going to happen. Like I said, I think he gets trapped against the ropes and TKO'd in, like, round 2 or 3. Like, I think it happens pretty early. Maybe not in the first round, but I'm on paper, Anthony Joshua should be able to make this look easy. And if anything else happens, I'm going to be a little sus, okay? I hope you're not watching, Jake. Don't make me call my lawyers. But yeah, I think Joshua's going to easily walk through him. So that's the official pick. I'm going with Anthony Joshua to win by round 3 TKO. So yeah, those are the picks for the fights. I got Joshua by round 3 TKO. I got Anderson Silva by decision. I got Andrew Tate by round 2 KO. And then I got Tony Ferguson by round 4 TKO. So let me know down in the comments who you guys got in these fights. And let me know, do you think Jake Paul stands a chance in this fight? I really think he loses, but, I believe he has a chance, just like everybody does in every fight. So yeah, let me know down below what you guys think. But if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to go ahead and drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, become a channel member, hype the video, share this shit on Facebook, and then create a second account and repeat those steps for me. And if you're not doing those things, you are just a straight up casual, with all due respect. Also, make sure to go and follow my Instagram at tnasty_MMA. I am still doing the T-Nasty t-shirt giveaway, so make sure to go follow me for the post regarding that. I have a whole new t-shirt design. I'm going to be ordering the shirt soon, so go follow me on Instagram to see the post and be able to enter for a free shirt. And then also go follow me on Twitter at TrentJXNES. That's where you see me going at it, beefing with all sorts of losers on Twitter and reacting to all the big fight news. So make sure to go follow me on social media. And then last thing, just make sure to go subscribe. I know it's hard to go click that button, but please, it helps a brother out. We're on the road to 500, so go ahead and join in the T-Nasty Nation right now. But with all that being said, I'm out. Take it easy, gang.